The spacecraft drifts silently in Earth's orbit, a small, carefully engineered machine carrying 3 astronauts and years of human planning. Commander Marina Barnett moves through the narrow cabin with calm precision, checking displays, reading numbers that tell her everything is normal. Medical researcher David Kim floats nearby, securing equipment for the long journey ahead. Engineer Zoe Levinson focuses on the oxygen system, her fingers steady, her mind already running through future contingencies. This mission is supposed to be routine, at least by spaceflight standards. A 2-year journey to Mars, humanity's next great step. Everything has been rehearsed, simulated, tested, and retested on Earth. The launch itself was flawless. The rocket separated cleanly, systems aligned, and the crew settled into the quiet rhythm of space travel. Now, days into the mission, the initial excitement has faded into disciplined routine. Each crew member knows their role. Marina leads with authority shaped by experience. David carries the weight of scientific discovery, believing this mission could redefine how humans survive in deep space. Zoe, younger than the others but no less capable, keeps the ship alive, listening to every hum and vibration as if the spacecraft itself were speaking to her. It is during one of these routine checks that something feels wrong. Zoe notices a fluctuation in the oxygen readings. At first, it's subtle, almost dismissible. Instruments in space can be temperamental. She recalibrates the sensor, expecting the numbers to stabilize. Instead, the discrepancy grows clearer. Oxygen reserves are slightly lower than projected. Not dangerously low, but enough to raise concern. She alerts Marina and David. The 3 gather near the control panel, floating shoulder to shoulder. Marina listens carefully, her face unreadable. David checks the mission timeline, calculating consumption rates in his head. According to all their data, their oxygen supply should be. The response from Earth takes hours to arrive, each minute stretching painfully as the crew waits. When Mission Control finally speaks, their voices are calm but strained, clearly masking shock. They confirm the worst. With 4 people on board, the life support system cannot sustain the mission to Mars. Turning back is impossible. The fuel required to reverse course simply does not exist. Rescue is also not an option. Any emergency mission launched from Earth would take months, far longer than their oxygen will last. The crew listens in silence as Earth outlines possible solutions, each one more desperate than the last. There is one potential lifeline. The spacecraft is scheduled to rendezvous with a rocket booster later in the mission, which contains liquid oxygen meant to support future systems. If they can extract that oxygen early, they might extend their survival. The problem is that the oxygen is locked inside a solid fuel tank, never designed to be opened in space. Zoe studies the schematics, her face tightening. Accessing that oxygen would require a spacewalk beyond anything they trained for. The tank is fragile. One wrong move could rupture it, destroying their only chance. Worse, the maneuver would require 2 astronauts outside the ship at the same time, increasing risk dramatically. David focuses on Michael. The stowaway sits quietly, guilt written across his face. He apologizes repeatedly, his words tumbling over each other. He offers to help in any way he can. David examines him medically and discovers another complication. During the launch, Michael suffered internal injuries. His body is slowly failing. Even if they solve the oxygen problem, Michael may not survive the journey. This discovery deepens the moral weight crushing the crew. Marina gathers everyone together. Her voice is steady, but her eyes reveal the burden of command. She explains the situation clearly, without softening the truth. The mission cannot support 4 people. They must add him. The days after Michael's death pass slowly, marked by an unfamiliar quiet. The spacecraft continues its steady path toward Mars, systems humming as if nothing extraordinary has happened. The oxygen readings now sit within safe margins, numbers that should bring relief. Instead, they feel like a reminder of what it cost to make them possible. Marina logs the incident for Earth, her voice measured and professional. She describes Michael's actions as heroic, his sacrifice essential to the mission's survival. When the transmission ends, she allows herself a brief moment of stillness, eyes closed, floating in silence. Command training never prepared her for writing a report that doubles as a eulogy. David struggles the most. As a medical researcher, his purpose has always been to preserve life. Michael's death replays endlessly in his mind, every decision branching into painful what-ifs. He reviews the medical data again and again, wondering if there was something more he could have done, some alternative he missed. Sleep comes in short, restless bursts. Zoe throws herself into work. She inspects the life support systems obsessively, recalculating margins, double-checking valves, ensuring no other hidden failure waits to surprise them. Engineering problems are easier to face than grief. Machines follow rules. Loss does not. Eventually, routine returns in fragments. Meals are eaten. Experiments resume. Exercise schedules are followed. But the dynamic of the crew has changed. Michael's absence is felt not just as a missing body, but as a moral presence that lingers in every decision they make. As communication delays with Earth grow longer, the crew becomes more isolated. Messages now take minutes, then longer, stretching the sense of distance into something tangible. They are alone with their thoughts, their guilt, and their responsibility to continue. David begins working on his primary research again, studying how the human body adapts to long-duration spaceflight. Mars fills the windows now, no longer a distant symbol but a vast, rust-colored world marked by scars of time and silence. The spacecraft settles into orbit with a controlled burn, engines humming steadily as Marina guides them into position. When the final numbers lock in and the ship stabilizes, none of them cheer. Relief comes quietly, like a long breath finally released. They have made it. But arrival does not mean rest. The mission continues with orbital research, system monitoring, and preparations for the next phase, which will determine whether future crews can survive even longer journeys. Every task feels heavier because of what it took to get here. Michael's absence is felt most strongly in moments of success. Each achievement carries his shadow. David begins transmitting research data back to Earth, careful and precise. The findings are groundbreaking. They include hard lessons written in loss, not theory. Human bodies can adapt further than expected, but only when technology and ethics move together. He knows these reports will shape future missions, perhaps preventing another tragedy like theirs. Zoe focuses on stabilizing the life support system for long-term orbit. The modifications they made under pressure are holding. Against all odds, the ship is functioning beyond its original design. In a quiet moment, she records a personal log, not for official review, but for herself. She talks about fear, responsibility, and the thin line between survival and sacrifice. It is the first time she allows herself to slow down. Marina records the final mission log for this phase of the journey. Her words are calm, but there is no attempt to dress the truth in ceremony. She speaks honestly about command, about the burden of making decisions when no choice is clean. She names Michael directly, ensuring his role is never reduced to a footnote. As they circle Mars, Earth becomes a pale star in the distance. Communication delays now stretch into long waits, but the Cr.